Got it. Live streamed. Hello, hello, hello. My goodness. Are you ready for this update? I'm so excited. Uh, so just recently we closed on 2 properties. Those of you that are tracking, I'm doing a journey update today. And I just received FedEx. I haven't even looked at them. Okay, so I received my closing docs. And look at this mess here. So this particular one, I will be getting 1,037 back. So all this, just so that you know the update. I know those of you that are following, you want to know the details really quickly. However, those of you that are just joining me, I want you to know that I'm taking you on a journey on how I found a motivated seller, how I acquired 2 properties, no money out of pockets, how I did a subject to, positioned it so that I get money back, right? So how do you do real estate investing? How do you ditch the bank? How do you, how does the seller just give you their property? It's not every day. That's not the number one thing that happens. But sellers have issues all the time. And I can't stress enough, those of you that went through my 5-day challenge just recently heard me talk about, sellers, multiple reasons why sellers need to sell and sell quickly. And so you get to be the aspirin to their headache, right? And so this is some serious aspirin to her headache. She's super relieved. And now that I'm taking over. And I know you want to see all of this. I can't show you the actual checks because they have all the info on it, but let me see here. So that's 1787 and 1787. This was the crazy escrow. I'm just going to tally these up for you real quick. This was a crazy escrow that should have closed April 28th. Okay, it should have closed April 28th. We just closed. So my interpretation is we closed May 28th. However, none of the documents were recorded until June 19th. So when I go over day 4, the importance of team, this is why. And when I go over the importance of story with the seller, this is why. Because here's what happened. The escrow was taking so long, none of my fault, right? None of the seller's fault. It was title and escrow that I guess they were overwhelmed. They had too many escrows going on and they couldn't perform. So my transaction coordinator says, there's nothing we can do. She's the one that handles all the paperwork. It's just where they're at. So it's not like you could fire them and go put it into another escrow company. It was pretty specific. It needed to be with them because of the creative process. So building team is super important. So we have 178 there, and then we have 1513, and I do no money down, no money out of my pockets. Real estate investing, I've been doing this for decades, and I thought I was going to have to come to the table with money. And it turns out, because I did not want to over leverage this one when I took it over. So I did the bare minimum, and I still got back $4,333 out of these 2 escrows. June 22nd. Yeah. So just getting these now. They were FedExed over. And I wanted to share that with you. It was a perfect day to share this with you as those of you that are following my journey. This has got to be one of the top 5 escrows that have just gone crazy. And again, I've been doing this for decades, and I do have a top 5 list, and this one made it up there. Most escrows are pretty, there's always something that happens either from the seller, the buyer, the title, paperwork isn't clear, the private money lender was lagging. I mean, there's always just some little thing that happens. There's nothing to freak out over, but there's just something that happens. So I wanted to bring that to your attention, that who are you when things go south, right? Because sometimes it's not pretty. And I'm not trying to scare anyone. I'm just saying, take a deep breath. Okay, now here's this. Now what do we do? It's really all it is being a business person about it and not an emotional buyer about it. Because you're an investor, you buy on numbers and you buy transactionally, right? We have empathy for the seller's story, which is what I had for her and brought back towards the middle of escrow, because she's like, oh my God, this is taking so long. She's freaking out, thinking her headache's not going to go away. So I had to calm her, okay, and remind her of her story of why we're doing this. And she's like, yeah, I know. Okay. And I mean, I felt bad for her. Don't get me wrong. I completely was way more extra drama in this escrow than it needed to be. And she was at a very stressful moment in her life and didn't need this, just didn't need it. So reminding the seller of their story is key. So in this journey, that really came true to a point, and I wanted to point that out to you guys. And then the other thing I am on my soapbox all the time with is team, right? Having a proper team in place. My transaction coordinators were on point. They had everything together. We have a third-party servicer handling everything. All the paperwork was handled, and I didn't have to stress about what am I doing, right? So today we also have another short-term rental happening. So we hustled and did a couple of things to get that short-term rental in place. And then we have a rehab going on that we're doing. So I'm walking my clients through that right now. So if you're a part of my mentorship, you get to hear about all of those details as we go through them. When I am complete, I'll do a recap with the public group here, but my clients get all the details, the resources, and the hands-on education. So hopefully this helps you to understand a little bit more about the process of escrow. Again, I'm taking you through the different things that we're doing with these two properties. One came with a tenant, one is vacant. There was trash left all over the place. So what I did was I had reached out to some resources over there because it's not close, okay? So I had to reach out to get some estimates. I mean, working on that phone to make things happen. Otherwise, I have to go do it, and that's not the life that I signed up for. So reaching out and getting leverage systems in place so that those properties are taken care of has been my hustle this past week, so that I can relax later, right? So if you're running the numbers on properties, make sure there's space for contractors to be there. Make sure there's space for property management. Make sure there's space for, and I mean space by money allotted for, okay? Because you don't want to do this yourself. You'll be a hot mess. You'll be pulling your hair out because and it's not because it's bad, it's just because it's in different directions. So if you've ever done project management before, you'll have an idea of what I'm talking about. It's a lot of moving pieces, okay? So the more you can leverage that, the better. So everyone reports to one person, that one person reports to me. Okay, so that's the best way to do it. And the deal pays for it all. I'm not coming out of pocket for this. The deal pays for it all. Okay, so there's taking over the property subject to. So if you guys have questions, type it in the comments so that I can answer your questions if you have any confusion around this. But here's the layout. I took the property over subject to the existing mortgage. Okay, the seller walked away. I did not pay the seller anything. There wasn't enough room. So And here's why, because I have to add about 15 to 20 grand in repairs in order to get these where they need to be. And that would have maxed out. Like I couldn't pay her what she wanted plus having to pay that. Okay, so the numbers worked out in a certain way. And I said, this is how it works out. You could do it or you cannot do it. Go find another way. That's fine. I was not attached to the outcome. I just said, here's an option. And this took a minute, but you know, it didn't happen overnight. Right. And then finally she's back with me going, oh, just take it. You can't do it anymore. So following up with your sellers is key. They may not be ready the moment you speak to them, but they'll be ready shortly thereafter. 4 to 6 months is typically the rip off the band-aid thing and come to reality. Let's see, it doesn't sound live here. I'm just gonna double check, guys, because you know sometimes Facebook does not say that I am playing, and I am. So here we go. I got you here. Say that I am playing. Oh, yep. Okay, there it is. So yeah, type your questions in the comments. You have questions how this is laid out. It is, I took the properties over subject to, there's 2 of them. And then I have a private money lender came in to pay in for all the monies that I needed, including escrow costs. And then what else did I do? So subject to, take it over, and then repairs, got contractors in place, property management, software set up, and connecting with the tenant to make sure that she's on point. So there's a couple things that apparently she was promised early on. So she was a little upset that like I'm the 3rd person she's had to deal with. So I'm getting the brunt of all of it. But just know it's a deflection of somebody who has lost their patience. And so they're going to take it out on you. So I don't take it personally. I'm just like, okay, well, here's the cards and here's how they're dealt. And here's what we're going to do. Again, take it or leave it. I'm going to do my best to make everyone comfortable and happy. But dealing with tenants is probably a whole nother training for you guys. And that's what I give my students is how to find them, how to legally vet them, and what is required. So sometimes a lot of us women have a huge heart and we want to give. When it comes to tenants, it has to be equal across the board legally of what you give. So there's no going, oh, but I like her, but I don't like her, or I don't like him, or I don't, and it has to be equal across the board. So just a little tidbit there. I could do a whole day's training just on tenants. And short-term rentals. Like I said, I was just working on that. I have probably a 6-figure flip going right now. So my intention was 75, but everything has moved since I purchased it. And so I'm probably at 6 figures now. So I'm excited about all the different moving parts and that you guys get to learn. But I wanted to update you on the journey of those 2 escrows that they finally closed. It's recorded. And now we get to go into the tenant and rehab phase. So I'll keep you updated on those. And if you have questions about them and, you know, maybe how does this work for you? You know, just type in the comments and we'll reach out to you. Christine's in there all the time, making sure you guys are taken care of, getting your questions answered. So type in the comments what you need, and then we'll be here for you. And stay tuned for those updates. All right, I'll see you guys.